The group that you'll meet here formed a small think tank to focus specifically on the Indian Ocean, an area that holds 40% of the world's population, or about 3 billion people plus, and that does not include China, with issues related to food, energy, water, and the environment.
What we've seen in the Indian Ocean basin and the connecting parts is really a birth of a large amount of commerce that is revisiting the greatness of the area from a historical standpoint. 90% of all trade in the world moves by water. 70% of that trade moves along the Marine Silk Road. So when you think about the importance of this area of the world for all of us, it's substantial.
In the first decade of the 21st century, we saw a tremendous growth in the economies built upon this waterborne trade. In the first decade of the 21st century, we saw the greatest, almost crippling retraction of our economies along this same road. As we try and move forward and build our economies, the world economy again, we have to remember that the real substantial engine to economic trade continues to be the oceans.
In the countries bordering the Marine Silk Road, from Pakistan going east through Indonesia and the Philippines, there are more than 500 million people that aren't connected to the grid. They don't have grid-supplied electricity, other commercial energy services, safe drinking water, and basic sanitation. So there's an issue about political stability here, equitable economic growth. That's one of the reasons the U.S. government in particular should be very interested in what's going on in the region.
If we go 20 years forward, the U.S. and Canada and NAFTA decline. They decline to lower than 30% of the total world's economic power. And the emerging markets, what we call the BRICS, Brazil, India, Russia, India, and China, are and will become the dominant forces.
This map here is beginning to show you the strategic resources of the Marine Silk Road. I can't stress this enough. The future is about resources. The only way for the future is the responsible development of these resources that belong to all of us. They could be serious points of contention.
What are the big takeaways here? We are talking about an economic shift. We are talking about changes in technology. We are talking about massive volume. We are talking about energy. We're talking about all the touchstone topics of the day. And while we talk about the Marine Silk Road, one of the things that we should all take away from this conversation, not only now but going forward, is that we all have a vested interest in it.